Chad Durbin's with us every week here on OTB. Durbs, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are y'all?
Doing good. It seems like the Major League Baseball season's going to happen. Am I wrong or right? How do you feel about that today?
So I feel like, four-fifths of every bit of information coming out is
Yep.
that they're going to get it done at some point. And then every once in a while, I'll get a little nugget that says we're not even going to see sports in the fall. And I ignore it just wholeheartedly. Like, no, there's no way that's going to happen. So, yeah, I think they're boxing around as many ideas as they can to try to figure out what's the cleanest route to baseball, and how to provide a season for the players, and for the fans, and for everything else. Baseball has traditionally come back from 9/11 or other events, and kind of led the charge. And this is an opportunity. I was talking to guys from the Phillies and some WIP guys out of Philly that do radio and pretty good stuff up there. And I was talking to them about the opportunity that baseball has to get out in front and maybe be on TV when nothing else is on TV or available, to a fan set that's not used to sitting down and watching 9 innings or 6 innings or even 3 innings, and creating new content, for a fan base that's consuming content differently than they ever have. Like, the new normal is that if your Zoom feed is pixelated and your kids are jumping up and down in the background, you're kind of like, yeah, dude, that's normal. So I think that's an opportunity for baseball, from ownership and from just the content creation and media side, as well as the players, to reach a fan base that is hungry for anything live. So I think it's a good opportunity. I like it. Did you see some of the new? They're going to make 3 divisions potentially,
Yeah.
regionally, and you're pushing teams into into rivalries that are there, but it's just kind of maybe through social media or street talk. Oakland and San Francisco and the Mets and the Yankees. Yeah, they're not in the same division, so you never really get it. And then some people have to look at geography. Like, Atlanta is more west than Pittsburgh if you're looking at a map, and nobody thinks like that. You know what I mean? So Atlanta in the central because of just travel and all that stuff. But just it's interesting. I hope it plays out. I know they're being cautious about being safe and doing the right things and the complications that it brings families. But it's interesting. I mean, I really hope baseball does get an opportunity to lead this charge.
So we talked to Tom Hart earlier in the show, Chad, and he is tonight hosting a Zoom call with a lot of the '09 LSU baseball team when they won the national championship, kind of reliving that. They're replaying the game. You would have been in the midst of 2 World Series runs, but do you have any memories of watching that LSU national championship where you were back 10 years ago, 12 years ago?
Well, I would have been in a clubhouse, talking trash to anybody that went anywhere else than LSU, and any SEC guys that want to jump on board. So, just talking about the traditions of LSU baseball, and everybody's going to throw out their names and talk about where they went. So that's what happens in the clubhouse. It's a way, about 2 months into the season, to kind of break the monotony and talk about people's college days or where they were going to go, and check out this dude, he can really swing it, but they're swinging aluminum. So it's just fun. It's a fun time of the year. It's very similar to fantasy football, and when college and pro football kicks up, in the fall, you kind of have these lulls, ebbs and flows during the season. And one of the things that really jumps off, especially as coverage became more and more available, is College World Series time and regional time and super regional time. You got to see it. Now, if I'd have to bring it up and look, I mean, that's Matuk and his crowd.
Yeah.
That's my
yeah.
DJ LeMahieu, Jared Mitchell.
God bless, they were
Chad
good.
Jones closing.
I mean, has there ever been more of an unassuming superstar than DJ LeMahieu? The way that, I mean, what he has turned into since his days at LSU.
Well, I tell you what's funny about that is his mom. I was with the Tigers in 2006 and 2007, and I was at a charity event, kind of preseason deal, and his mom and dad were there. His mom walked up and said, "Hey, look, we're deciding between a couple schools. You're from Baton Rouge. What do you think about LSU?" And I gave her my pitch. That kid was good enough to go wherever he wanted. I said, well, what's he want to do? Because if he just wants to play college baseball, or does he want to be a pro? She said he wants to be the best, and he's not very flashy. He's 6'4" and 185 pounds right now, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he wants to play shortstop like Cal or something, and Cal Ripken, and you know what? It just following his career, and he is unassuming. He just gets his job done. He's traditional in a lot of senses. The way he goes about his business. He's always there. He's the first guy in, or one of the first guys in, last guy to leave. You never hear any bad quotes or anything that would cause any, tremblings in media. I mean, he just does a really good job. And, a lot of the teams he's been on, he's had a couple superstars that he's just as good or better than, that kind of take away the limelight, which is actually a really good thing for his personality, it looks like.
Talking to former World Series champ Chad Durbin here on Off the Bench, as we do every week. So Chad, you'll be proud of me. I've now seen Major League. I watched it twice during the week in which I was off on paternity leave, I guess you could say. Is Bob Uecker the best character in all of Major League?
He ties all of them together. He's so good, and because he played in the league and he's announced for so long, he's got like the stand-up humor type of thing down, especially the 80s brand. Man, it's such a quotable movie, T-Bob. I'm telling you, who needs a sports psychologist in house when you can just have a bunch of guys pop off at the same time with a good quote from a movie?
Yeah.
That's tongue in cheek, but it is such a quotable movie. Every time that I find a GIF or a little movie clip or something, I'll send it off to the guys I played with, and immediately you get responses and laughable moments from moments that were very similar to the movie. And Major League 2 is the follow-up, and it's only good if you've seen Major League 1. It's not a very good movie, but it is. But it's how it is. I mean, I'm going to watch the sequel.
Yeah.
I've watched Major League 3. They made a Major League 4 or 5 or 6. I'm probably going to sit through it, especially right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one I let my kid watch, and there's a couple times where you got to tackle the remote and pause. All right, go grab Dad some mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's been that's a good movie for my generation, especially my age, right in that early 40s, late 30s stretch, because of the age we were when we watched it. It was kind of our, 12, 13, 14-year-old, like, oh, man, I don't think we should be watching this movie.
Yeah. Oh, those are the best. That was Jay and Silent Bob for me.
Durbs, thank you, man. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Y'all have a great one. Appreciate it.